Hello, super quick bite tonight, and that is simply because we actually buried our cell phone charger. So our main cell phone charger, we're not able to charge at this moment, unfortunately. So we might go for as long as it lasts. But it is a great day to be on the road. Beautiful day, and then amazing rainstorms. Really sort of refreshed land. I guess tornadoes are what they are called. But I thought it was amazing and cool, and it smelled wonderful. One of the really cool things sort of about being on the road, driving from event to event, is sort of getting to, see a lot of what's going on and how much at like the local gas station level, like where everyone sort of goes. And what's really interesting is how much more next to ATM machines everywhere, seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin ATMs, to where people can buy and sell transactions, even get a slip to pay for gas with the crypto they have, so like the gas station can't accept, crypto directly, but via like an ATM voucher can. So I think there's some really cool things going on there and some really great things to see. And that just sort of makes me bullish on all of it. It is a day of rejoicement for the crypto industry as FIT21, the financial inclusion and technology, I'm garbly googly this one, of the 21st century act that sort of defines the lines between centralization and decentralization and what might fall under the SEC and the CFTC. What's a commodity and what's a security, passed the House with an astounding amount of Democrats and Republicans voting for it in a bipartisan amount. Now it is going to be going to the Senate as is. Now there's people that have worry that the Senate's going to butcher it and change it up. Well, if they do, it then has to go back to the House. So it's not one of those things where it gets passed, it can get butchered, and then it can get passed. But one of the really cool things that we have seen is a change of policy from the White House on SAB 121, which is originally almost, that is from the SEC, a internal policy document of accounting practices, and how they were going to generalize and view crypto and as a security. And so there was such a huge rebuke from it, from both Senate and from the House, that bill has passed Congress. And originally the White House had put out a bulletin stating that they were going to veto the people's choice. And now they have changed that stance and softened it, which is a huge, I wouldn't say red flag in any way, shape, or form, though, always have your radar on, but a huge change in policy action and outcome, which makes you wonder either who is now actually ready for the next wave to happen, or is there so much political pressure, as people were saying, from the top down, which is really the bottom, that people, they're sorely changing their viewpoint because they don't want to get wrecked when it comes to elections. And that's what it really comes down to, is what will carry the vote for the party. Do a lot of these people actually care about crypto and blockchain innovation? No, they don't. Unfortunately, they care about what will keep them in office another term. Um, there are some senators that have changed wind that normally are hugely pro technology, but then they've sort of followed the party line, and you wonder, okay, were they just following the party line, or now are they just trying to save their seat? And it makes you question a lot of things. But huge shout out to Stand with Crypto, as well as Brian Armstrong, and even Ryan Selkis and Eleanor Turret. I messed up her name, for information dissemination, meaning getting the information out about what is going on, because a lot of times we're sort of left in the dark, and people always say, do your own research. Well, where do you go sometimes? So being able to put out the original information and share casing where it's coming from, so people in blockchain are like some of the most knowledgeable people I have met on how to find information out. But then at the same time, sometimes, because people get so pigeonholed in their way of doing things, or working with only their one chain, or their one wallet, or their one phone, or their one UI, that you give them anything else and they sort of freeze up. So seeing a lot of mental elasticity on the adaptation of new ways of finding information. I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone for doing that. That's some really cool stuff. We are getting ready for Consensus 2024 here in Austin. Next, it is its 10th year. Who is ready for this? Who remembers that first one? Oh, man. I didn't go to my first one until, no, 18, 20, no, COVID, something like that. I think right after COVID, 21. So yeah, but it was one of the, because I sort of was like, oh, that's a stuffy necky thingy. It was a stuffy necky thingy back then, in New York and stuff. And so the vibe has definitely changed, where there is now huge mix of projects and politicians, as I like to say. So yeah, you literally had, like last year, we literally had standing senators and Congress. We had Udi in a wizard hat talking about a proof of shower on another stage, and then sharing the same floor space, which is sort of hilarious and interesting. So it will be really cool to see how there is a turnout this year, as this is expected to be an amazing time. And then as soon as the one thing that I guess sucks, but I think is really going to be fun and a blast, the day after Consensus, on a plane and flying to Singapore for Super AI, as everything was sort of signed and contracted today, where we sort of will be making Manifest known to the world as a silver sponsor. So that I'm super excited for. You do not know how cool that's going to be. And I am blown away by the amount of effort the team's gone through, and what we have lined up for Consensus with Morpheus. And I can't even say what else. I can't. I'm literally not. Well, I guess I could, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to say. But some really cool things have been happening behind the scenes in decentralized AI, where like this shit is just as political, it seems like at times, and is a hot potato. And for me, this is like giga brain people that I get to work with. where I can play like 4 games of chess at once, of 3D chess at once, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing that to like the power of 4," you know. But then, you know, I guess where my superpower is I can say, "Oh yeah, well I can talk dual." I'm joking. Big personalities with central AI space, so that is probably not a superpower. That is probably my downfall. Uh, and you know, one of the fun things about Web3, being able to talk to anyone and everyone. We get to see Securities Exchange Commission Hester while we are going to be at consensus, and we are going to work our hard and darnest to make sure we get 5 minutes of camera time with her, as well as you know, Caitlin Long will be there, and running for Senate, John Deaton. Those are some of the highlight pieces. We might actually have some time with Yatsu from Animoca Brands, and we're probably going to try to get some camera time with Ogle as well, talking about security exploits and tracing bad guys. So that's going to be really fun. And we actually have a couple requests from Hedera Foundation for us to come do some interviews with them. They like our candid style, I guess. Right now with Hedera, I like when they bring the Oreos, so we know where my favoritism lies. I'm just a fat kid. Feed me Oreos and I'm happy, I guess. But I'm really excited about what's passed in the Senate or in the House, and you know, it could be another week for it to pass the Senate, or it could just, you know, go there and be tabled and die, or pass as is. So who knows how that will go? We do have, you know, the natural doomsayers that, you know, everything the U.S. government does is bad. You know, not to put him out on the you know, pull his sheets, but you know, Bruce Fenton, you know, left the United States a while ago because he felt that everything was so doom and gloomy here, that you sometimes miss all of the cool stuff. So just because a lot of politics right now for a lot of people have become a one issue race, doesn't mean that there's not a lot of awesome stuff going on. I do want to give a special shout out right now to the Ashen One, as he has been building out a charity education house, I guess, in like Jakarta. He's been using a lot of his soul winnings to sort of give back in his own way, which I think is really cool. I think, you know, Ashala, you know, he is doing something super silly and stupid that no one should ever do. But if it hits, you know, everyone will look at him as like a Giga Chat and Giga Brain, and I'll be like, no, you just got lucky. So my words of advice there is don't look for shortcuts sometimes, because they will sort of come back to bite you, and they won't always be able to be so short in the long run. They don't always work. We can't, you know, we can't figure these things out, or else if we could figure them out, everyone would be rich, plain and simple. But at the same time, you know, have fun, be safe. There are some really cool new projects coming out on Moonbeam, and I want to give a huge shout out to the Stella Swap team, which is sponsoring Day Zero Consensus Hackathon. There's some pretty cool new ideas coming out. Really excited to sort of see what happens there, and really interested to see what other cool things come out. I think EZA is also having a hand in that polka dot revolution of Moonbeam. Yeah, so no better way to then travel at 85 miles an hour while running a space, and, you know, talking about amazing things happening, getting to see amazing people. This is going to be a consensus for the books, because a lot has changed this year, and a lot is happening. So We've had some big milestone markers. We've had some, I wouldn't say setbacks per se. SBF only got 25 years. I thought he should have gotten a lot more. Now it looks like Ryan Salami is possibly facing 4 years. It should be like 10x that. Good to see that CZ is only getting 4. I don't remember if he's getting 4 years or 4 months. I don't remember that off the top of my head. But it is an interesting turnabout play as we've seen shakedowns happen from the U.S. government. With Fit 21, there is an opportunity for some major tech companies to make big footholds here in the United States and keep a heck ton of innovation here in the United States. We're going to be needing that as we're coming up on some major technical revolutions within AI and Web3. And I don't want to be on the losing end of these races, and I don't think you want to either. So, some really cool things have been coming out in the AI sector, and I'm just sort of grateful to be here and watch it all and talk about it. On top of that, before we close this down, because we literally have like 3% left on our phone, I want to shout out to Franklin is bored. Tried to shout out to him last night. I think I skipped that piece on my brain, but this fantasy tops piece that's been playing out on Blast has really been pushing like follower count numbers, responses, really using analytics, and his little soft hacks of the system, I think really sort of surprised people. It annoyed some people that they're like, why didn't I think of this first? I think is truly what went through their mind, because I liked knowing what time it was and seeing you in 5 minutes. And so I think that there's some really cool pieces here as people sort of learn what different parts of the algorithm do in Twitter and how different people read it. So let's support innovation, because literally what he wanted to do was support everyone that owned his fantasy top card. That's literally what it does, is it gave his card more points for people that held it. So, him doing his interesting ways to win the system, really sort of at the same time, was to give that back to others. And that stuff like that needs to be applauded, not downgraded in any way, shape, or form. So huge hat off to Franklin and Sport for that. And, we might be remembering that in a year and remember that time. So, and when everyone is doing it. But that is it for today and tonight. As we get ready to, we are on that final leg of journey. We're actually going to make it, I think, on this final tank without having to stop again, which will be fun. But we are going to be stopping in Dallas. So if you're in the Dallas area, we might be around for some Web3 events. Would love to catch up and see you. If not, we will see you in Consensus. I want to thank everyone from LinkedIn, Player One Taco, YouTube, 0x Degens, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, Rumble, Kick, Discord, and on-chain via Unlonely and Solia Tech, and for joining us tonight. And shout out to those that are leaving messages. I apologize. I am driving, so I cannot respond to them other than what up. I see all of you and really enjoy doing this daily show. This is our 639th episode. Yeah, 639th episode. So we hope that you have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. But as always, we end with two things. Our words of wisdom and the greatest worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. And our words of wisdom are always the same. A closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come a knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And with that, like I said, I wish everyone a safe and happy night. Have fun with those shit coins. Have fun getting into some solid projects. And if you're looking for some cool AI stuff, just be ready. There is some really cool stuff coming out. And yeah, I'm lucky to be where I'm at when I'm at here. So we will see you all later. And as always, the greatest worst knock knock joke on the face of the planet. That is knock knock. Who's there?